Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today. As always, I am here to enlighten, inspire, and build up humanity. And you, my 1,371 subscribers, are part of that humanity. Today I have a question from a viewer. He wants to know, why do financial problems affect relationships? And we will explain that to you right after this. You have to be strong enough to endure these things. You have to approach women. With today's social media, she's constantly being hit on. Women are always in the game. You have to stay focused. We are men. That's what we do. All right, let's get after it. And the question is, why do financial problems, affect relationships? Money. I think that is the number one cause of divorce, at least here in the U.S., is money problems. Well, I'll say this first. In a traditional relationship, which is what I prefer, the man takes care of the money and the woman stays home and takes care of the kids and the house. Each has a job, each has a part to play. But we've got this narrative here in the West that the woman needs to go out there and work. She needs to have a career. But isn't raising children one of the most valuable and important careers that there is in the world? I think it's given little recognition because guess what? A mom at home taking care of the kids, the house, and her husband doesn't pay taxes, doesn't consume as much, and doesn't support the big businesses. So did you ever stop to think that maybe, just maybe, someone wants the woman outside of the home and they've pushed this narrative for many, many years? But that's a whole nother video. Back to the topic of, why does it cause problems? Well, one of the reasons it causes more problems now is because the woman is out there working, she's making money, and they're both spending money, so we have this dissension or this disagreement about how the money is supposed to be spent. As where in the past, when the man was making the money, he made the decisions how the money was to be spent. The wife made the decisions how the home was supposed to be kept up and raising the children. Now, of course, there was the ultimate decision. Sometimes it had to be made by the man. And now women don't really want the responsibility of some of these harder decisions because they don't want to be accountable for be accountable for what happens in case things don't go well. But a man has to make the decisions. Sometimes these are difficult decisions. But when it comes to money, if they're both working, you have fights over how the money is going to be spent because they're both making money. And usually the man is making more than the woman. Not in all cases, but usually that's the way it is. Some of the feminists say it's because of the patriarchy, we put women down. They act like they're so oppressed. They have more opportunities now than they've ever had in history, and they're still complaining about being oppressed. I guess we have a state of victimhood here in the States or in the Western world. But that too is another video. Okay. So he goes on to ask how to handle that situation. Well, you need to come up with some kind of agreement between your spouse or your girlfriend or your live-in, whatever that happens to be. Now, whether she will stick to that agreement, it's hard to say. But someone has to have the final say about how the money is spent. and you need to sit down and figure out your priorities. Of course, the rent or your house payment has to be paid first. You have to have a home to live in. After that, your utilities, okay? Your car payment. The necessities must be paid for first, not going out to Burger King or McDonald's or going to a movie or going to a restaurant to eat. The necessities must be paid first. That's usually a general rule and a good way to start. So you both need to decide that. Now, whether you have your money in a joint checking account or a separate one, that's up to you. But you need to figure out how you're going to do that and come to some kind of an agreement on that about who pays for what, or if you pool your money together, depending on who makes what. It's really so variable, it's hard to give a flat, baseline program that's going to work for each individual. Okay, what does it take to have a rich heart? What does it take to have a rich heart? Well, that's a little easier question to answer than the finances and how they're supposed to be distributed among the husband, the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend, the man, the live-in. How to have a rich heart. A rich heart comes from service to others. And actually, all riches come from service to others. Think about this. If no one served anyone else, you wouldn't be talking to me today or listening to me. I'm talking to you because we would not have cell phones. Someone provided this service. Someone is providing the internet service that gets this out there to you. Someone provided the service of making this cell phone. Everything that you have was provided because someone decided to serve. And when you serve others, you get a rich heart. Now, of course, you serve to make money, and you get paid for that. But the other service you give for free and for fun, or for love if you like, you get paid for that in a different way. That fills your heart with richness. I don't care how much money you have, if you don't have contentment, fulfillment, peace of mind, it means very little. Money can't buy happiness, but some people say that's because you don't know where to shop. Money can't buy happiness, but it buys a lot more happiness than poverty does. So if you have a rich heart, usually from that richness within inside of you, everything that you need will come to you. I like money just as much as the next guy, but anytime I go out there chasing money, it just runs farther away from me. But if I go out there to serve my clients, to serve you, to serve everyone that I meet, then whatever I need comes to me. More than I need comes to me. If you want more than you need, if you want an abundance, then serve with an abundant attitude. Whenever you have an opportunity to help someone, help them. But don't make the mistake of expecting something back directly from that person, because more than likely you won't get it back from that person. But just know that it will come back to you abundantly. Maybe not in the same form that you gave, but it will come back to you. You cannot put anything out there in the universe that does not come back to you multiplied. Whether that's anger, happiness, joy, money, teaching someone to become successful. Whatever I'm giving you today, I'm giving this out for free. I don't get anything back from this, but I do get much back from it, because it's very difficult for me to share anything with you or to teach you or instruct you in anything without instructing or teaching or enriching myself. That's how life works. The more I serve others, the richer I become, financially and within myself, with a contentment that it's really hard to describe, a fulfillment that I never got from any amount of money I've had in my life or any amount of women I've had in my life. And I love women too. Indeed I do. I love being with women. But that falls short of the fulfillment I get from service to others, service to humanity, and service to you. That's just the way life works. It took me 61, I'm almost 62, 62 years to figure that out. And I can't really say that I figured it out. I think it was kind of figured out for me. Because we're taught when we're raised to go out there and get what we want. You got to make it happen. True, you have to take action. But if you go out there and try to get what you want, you may get what you want and then find out that that wasn't what you thought it was going to be. The joy is truly in the journey, and the joy truly is in giving. It is better to give than to receive. But you have to be willing to receive also. If someone offers you something, and if you can, take it. It keeps the flow going, giving and receiving. You have to be willing to receive as willing as you are to give. So give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall be added unto you. And it certainly will, too. And I'm not a religious guy, I say that, but there are many great truths in the books of the religions of the world. And we can all benefit from them without having to bash them because some religion is connected to them. Take what you need, leave the rest. All right, that's all I have time for today. If you find this of value, hit the PayPal button and donate whatever you think the value is worth. Share it with a friend. And if you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com is my website. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.